Prediction Markets Edge right here on the SportsGrid Network. I'm Donnie Rightside. He's Joe Raineri, and a lot of topics to get to over the next half hour, which includes mainly the Winter Olympics, fresh off of a Super Bowl extravaganza show. Let's get it started, Joe. Let's have some fun. How about it?
Let's do it. It was a profitable big game there on Sunday, and now we've got the Olympics staring us in the face here, Donnie, with a lot of great markets available.
And the Olympics do conclude on February the 22nd, so a lot more action here to go, which does include the Winter Olympics and the most total medals per nation right now. If we look at the predictive markets, which include Kalshi here, Joe, Norway listed at a 73% chance, the United States at 21%, followed by Italy at 6%. If we want to put a little bit of action behind it after 6 days, Italy actually has the most medals at 17. Norway and the U.S., 14 and 14 apiece. And away we go, Joe.
You got to love the reality gap alert that we've got going on here, because the markets, to start, Donnie, gave what? Italy a 5 to 7% chance of winning the total medal count, but as of today here, right, Italy is leading the world with 18 total medals. Norway is there, and there is USA. So if you can still get Italy anywhere near single digits, and as far as I'm concerned, even 20 to 30 cents, back up the truck, because that host nation bump is a real thing here, Donnie, and it's real so far through the first 6 days of the Olympics.
No, it certainly is. Italy currently trading at a 6% chance right now. A $100 investment, Joe, would pay back $1,667. But the two heavyweights right now, apparently Norway and the U.S., with Norway with the clear lead, despite, as we said, having an even medal count through 6 days as we go. I'll tell you another fun topic we can take a look at in the predictive markets. Countries to win a medal. Now, granted, you can't bet on Switzerland or Italy or the U.S. They've already won their medals, Joe. But as we slide down the chart here on Polymarket, you got a lot of places with a lot of prices here. South Africa, Cyprus, San Marino, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, all trading at 1%, Joe. So my question to you is, do you take the easy way out and say, you know what, let me take a university, I should say, let me take a nation at 83%, 64%, 52%, or do you just take out those contracts on the 1%ers and hope to find gold?
Well, let's talk about this for a second, Donnie, because I think I saw Brazil trading at, 53 cents to win an Olympic medal, somewhere along those lines. And, one. Yeah, well, they've never won an Olympic medal in history. So unless they have secretly cloned a bobsled team, this is what we call a liquidity trap, right? It's all about confusion. Teams don't understand. You know, people that go to the market don't understand. Well, is it winner? Is it some? You want to short as many of those, Donnie, those 1%ers as possible, because to me, that is the free money price on hype and not reality.
And by the way, let me just do a quick check-in on Denmark. Last time I checked, they have winter sports there. They're trading at 18% right now to get a medal. You got to look. I think Denmark would be I'm talking about gold medal, Joe, or just a single medal in the Winter Olympics. Denmark, show up and show out and get the chicken there, as we like to say. Winter Olympics here. How about the most gold medals, Joe? And again, if we give a recap right now, Norway has 7 gold medals. The U.S. 4 gold medals. Italy has 6 gold medals right now. Trading in the marketplace, though, is Norway at 85%, saying, you know what? Maybe that advantage, just one more gold medal than Italy, is too much to overcome. The United States at 14% is a trading point, and Italy at 3% here. Taking long shots with Italy, Joe, or the favorite's going to be able to run away with it, Norway.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Or you got to short Team USA, right? Because, Donnie, we're almost a week into this Winter Olympics, and, the opportunities for Team USA are going to think the gap is becoming a canyon right now for them to be able to make up some of the distance they have here, with Norway having a ton more events, a ton more athletes still to go. As the Olympics go on, Team USA, fewer Olympians, and fewer events. So keep that in mind here if you're jumping in.
And also understand this too, Joe, as we watch the Olympics go through, there are some heavy favored United States players in the games that have not won gold medals, and that's why that distance is widening. 85% for Norway, 14% for U.S. And we always like to champion as well, Joe. You don't have to take them always to the yes number on a contract. Look toward the no. If you bet the no on U.S. to have the most gold medals in this Olympic Games here, a $100 investment is going to pay back $115. It doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're already behind 3 medals and some of your best opportunities are already at the door, we'll check in a little bit later. But the no contract for U.S. does make some sense, which then brings up, Joe, at the 2026 Winter Olympics here on Polymarket, the second most gold medals. And of course, if you're not going to be number 1 there with the gold medals, and you're probably going to fall just short, that's Team USA here. 69% chance to have the second most gold medals, followed by Italy, Norway, France, and Germany, Joe.
Yeah, so currently, right, Team USA is 2 gold medals behind Italy. So for them to pass and for you to cash a yes on that ticket, they're going to need to pass Italy. They're also going to need to hold off Germany and Sweden, who also have 4 golds. So to me, I think Italy is still the better price here and the better play if I'm looking for that first or second in the gold medal categories.
You know what's probably going to turn the tide, Joe? When you take a look at the men's U.S. team, if they can win gold, if they're not the favorite against Canada, that could be it, because the women's national team in hockey looks to be a gold medal favorite. If you do take out a contract on the yes for Team USA to have the second most gold medals, a $100 investment pays back $139, which then brings us up to most silver medals, which again bring up the U.S. 77% chance, Austria 17% chance, Norway 9% chance here. Medaling counts, yes it does, but silver looks like U.S. is going to lead the way here.
Yeah, and it does, right? And it should here at this point, because they've already had a couple events, Donnie, in which we had them slated for gold, but it did not work out that way, and they ended up with the silver. So it doesn't take, I think, but a few more of those to kind of lock us into that being the silver leader when it's all said and done.
Exactly. And again, if you do have an upset on the women's ice, the U.S. women's probably going to get silver. And if the men hold up to what the current price points are to win a gold medal in hockey right now, well, then you're probably going to lean back on another silver for the United States. And currently, the U.S. does lead the market in silvers with 7 of those. So they are the favorites at this point right now. Moving over to bronze medals. No shame in their game, Joe. You got gold medals. You got silver medals. You could still win a bronze medal. Italy trading at a 46% chance to have the most bronze medals. Why? They currently lead the bronze medal market with 8, followed by Japan at 6, Norway at 5, the U.S. at 3, Austria at 3, but Italy trading as the favorite behind Norway and also the United States, coming in a 17% chance.
This is what we like to call in the Olympics home field advantage, right? Because host nations will always get favorable judging in the subjective sports, figure skating, freestyle skiing, right? It's better course familiarity in the luge and skeleton. And this often results, Donnie, in podium finishes that aren't quite gold or silver, which is why we're seeing Italy dominate the bronze market right now. And I think that continues.
And understand this, these markets do change on a minute-to-minute, second-to-second basis. So as you're watching the Olympics, these numbers are adjusting live, which brings us to the point when we get back to most total medals here as you play it out in the Olympics. You can factor in the minute somebody goes down on a snowboard or a ski or a skeleton or a luge, you can factor in and understand the process that we go through as well. You don't have to win the competition. Most total medals, you can be profitable even if your country you picked didn't win the most total medals. Why? Because with 2 or 3 days left to go, if you're profitable, you can always get out of that contract, Joe. That's what we love to preach to the people. You don't have to see it through with this type of wagering and this type of action here on the predictive markets.
That's what it's all about, right? And buy low, sell high, Donnie. That's exactly what you're looking to do in the predictive markets, and that's what you can do here. We still got over a week to go here of competition. Plenty of time to buy low on some of these nations and sell high before it's all said and done.
February 22nd ends the Olympic Games here for the winter. Then they move on to L.A. in 2028 for the Summer Games. But before we get there, Joe, we got action-packed action we need to get to on the ice surface itself. And more importantly, Joe, there is an NBA All-Star Game this weekend that I know you're fired up about as well.
I can't wait, Donnie. Nothing like a bunch of NBA stars having no idea what the competition is. I am all for it, my man.
Do your research, invest wisely here in these prediction markets, and they can certainly pay off in the end. That's our job here at the SportsGrid Network, Prediction Markets Edge with Donnie and Joe. We'll be right back after this short break.
It looked like a clump of grass. It didn't look like an eagle. That's the one, by the way, USA Today claimed was the best ad. They thought the Lay's ad was number 2. The worst ad was any ad that had AI in it or had an AI company behind it. It wasn't because of the AI. It was because they were the most nonsensical ads you've ever seen. Does anybody look at these ads and understand if they are actually trying to do what they're trying to do, which is to showcase the product as opposed to being great with AI? Very embarrassing.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Road trips to Kentucky and Tennessee, which are pressure environments where mistakes can snowball a team quickly. And not even listen at those games there. How about the home games they have left with Alabama and Florida, who bring size, who bring pace, and physicality that punish you on both ends of the floor.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
The Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
Prediction Markets Edge Winter Olympics special here. Donnie Rightside along with Joe Raineri having some fun talking about what's going to take place on the ice. Been watching it play out here, and the medal rounds are just around the corner here. But I want to bring up a tweet here, Joe, at Sleeper NHL. It has to deal with Team USA. Since their last Olympic men's hockey gold medal in 1980, which is the Miracle on Ice, 1984 7th, 88th 7th, 92 4th, 94 8th, 6th, 2nd, 8th, 2nd, 4th, 7th, 5th. No gold medals in there since 1980, but also understand this too. Not every single year the U.S. is sending professional players there, hence some of those finishes in 8th and 6th place at this point. We have to use that as a caveat, but if they want to win, it's a long time since they have won since 1980, Joe.
Been a hot minute, Donnie, hasn't it? So you've got to figure out now, with history not necessarily being on our side, but like you said, in a lot of those years, it wasn't like we had, the game, the NHL's best playing for us and representing Team USA. So I think this year, a little bit different, but we can say the same thing with Team Canada as well.
Yes, we can. Superstars all over the ice. You know, these both teams, these opened with victories here. We'll see what they do throughout the weekend. And, of course, into the medal rounds. The expectations, Joe, that Team USA will face Team Canada when it's all said and done. But if we do look at the Kalshi markets right now, to win the gold medal, which country will do that? Canada is the favorite, and rightfully so, trading at a 51% chance. Here's the interesting part, Joe. 51% trading for yes, 51% trading to no. So if you invest $100 on the yes, pays back $197. $100 on the no, pays back $197. Found that pretty interesting right there.
Well, it's also interesting, too, because if you even look at the silver markets, right, you've got the fact that Team USA is also right at the top there in the silver favorite, too, in there. So basically the market is telling you, Donnie, they anticipate Canada versus USA in the final, right? So you have an opportunity, basically. Either of those markets will work for you, but basically you can go ahead and cash one or the other as long as the prices are correct in any order, whether it's USA Gold or USA Silver, and you can get Canada, you're cashing a ticket and profiting.
Like the U.S. obviously has a really good hockey club. They're second in favorites right now to win the gold medal. Canada is the favorite, and rightfully so. And by the way, as we're doing this show live, they dropped to 49%. That's what we tell you. This can change every minute, every second, every hour here. Make sure you're keeping up on it. Now, the thought process behind this, Joe, sometimes in like the NFL or other sports, you say recency bias, which means what happened in the previous couple weeks, the previous months, or even the previous year. It's no surprise. Like Canada is better overall hockey than the United States. Does it play into this, Olympiad this year? I don't know. But do you take that into account where we just showed a graphic that showed the U.S. hasn't won a gold medal since 1980? Does that play into it where it seems like Canada does have the U.S.'s number here in the Olympics?
Well, they had them in the Four Nations last year, too, during the All-Star break, which was a overtime win for Canada. So, and listen, almost all of the guys that represented both nations in the Four Nations last year are on the team here this year. So, yeah, a little revenge factor. But ultimately, to me, Donnie, it's, listen, history be damned, right? If I have an opportunity to middle the Team USA for gold and silver, and the same thing with Canada, since the market heavily favors that as the final anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do it, and may the best team win. Either way, we win, Donnie, which is what this is all about.
Absolutely. And Joe also brought up the ice hockey market here for silver medal. Obviously, it's correlated to the gold medal, whose expectations are it's supposed to be Canada. So when you flip that over, the United States trading at a 37% here to win the silver, and then Canada only at a 21%, which also brings up where now you bring into the market, okay, you separate Team USA, you separate Team Canada. There's 3 medals, Joe. One of those are bronze. Sweden and Finland are the favorites to get the bronze. Sweden trading at a 36% chance and Finland 22%. And obviously, USA and Canada behind them. If US or Canada win a bronze medal, that would be devastation to those home countries, Joe.
That would be devastating. That would also, we'd lose out on a couple of contracts here because the price discrepancy between them allows us to middle them, barring any sort of craziness leading up to that championship game. But really, you're right. I mean, if we all know that USA and Canada are going to take gold and silver, then the market is basically asking us who wins the bronze medal in this situation, right? And it seems to be a pretty good dead heat among those teams.
By the way, it does sound interesting, Joe. If you took contracts on, let's just say, the United States and Canada to win bronze, you say, Donnie, why would you do that here? I'm thinking if they don't make it to the gold medal round, maybe there's a letdown in that bronze medal game where if you just put to the yes or the no, there might be advantages that you can take care of that in that spot here. Let's take a look at the women's side, Joe. And if we look at the Olympic gold medal winners since 1998, how about this? USA, Canada, 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 USA, and Canada. So it seems like it's going to be one or the other, and certainly being priced that way, with the United States being a heavy favorite on the women's side, Joe.
Yeah, and again, same situation. 3-horse race here, right? So if we all know USA and Canada, but some combination of gold and silver, right, is going to happen there, then again, who's got the bronze medal game? And it seems to be, Czechia, Finland, and Sweden seem to be kind of a dead heat, but Finland at that price, 30 cents, there's some historical value there because they are the perennial best of the rest when it comes to women's hockey. So I think Czechia is going to be the trendy pick, but I think Finland has got some value there for that bronze.
It is interesting because, again, when you talk about the men's side, it's really a lot of talk about Canada and the United States. You flip it over to the women's, the U.S. has been so dominant. We're not taking anything away from Canada, but if you go to Kalshi and you want to take a contract, Joe, on the yes that they will medal, your $100 wager will pay back. Oh, yeah, there's no offers on that because they're not taking any money. As you know, the U.S. is probably going to medal. But, again, if you're looking from the yes perspective where it's like, we don't make that much, a $100 wager on Canada to get a medal in the Olympics pays back $104. It's still plus money. Oh, I would never invest that much. Canada's going to medal. The U.S. is going to medal. The only question is going to be, Joe, who's going to medal behind them?
That is correct. And those are the markets and the contracts that you can look at, right? And I'm telling you, we're seeing Finland, Sweden, and Czechia. I think there's a lot of value in looking at one of those 3 teams there to hit the board.
Sweden at 30% trading right now, Joe. A $100 investment is going to pay back $313 at this point here. A long way to go in the Olympics, as we said, till February 22nd, but all eyes on the prize between the men's and the women's side of it right now. Team USA on the women's side, a monster favorite to win gold. More up in the air on the men's side, but a lot can change, and we can't say this enough. Throughout this entire tournament, Joe, injuries will happen. Goalies won't play so well. Those numbers are going to fluctuate. If you pick Team USA to win the gold medal in men's hockey and they don't win it, there's still a chance that you can profit if they look better over the next couple rounds and into the medal rounds as they go, Joe. We can't say that enough.
That's correct. We cannot. Gold, gold, silver, gold. Let's get it done, Team USA.
Let's go back to the futures next on Prediction Markets Edge.
Aaron Judge, no stranger to hitting 60 home runs in a season, but we certainly aren't going to put a FanDuel win total or even DraftKings at 60. So Sam, our producer, set it at 55. Aaron Judge will hit 55-plus home runs this year. You going to buy or sell?
All right, Aaron Rodgers here.
Oh, there
Aaron,
he is.
What do you think? What do you think, Aaron? Can you hit 55? Aaron Judge, right? I got it in my head here. 55 is asking a lot, Sam. It's asking a lot. He hit 53 last year, 58 the year before, 37, but that was the year he hurt his toe in Dodger Stadium, and then, of course, 62. I got to sell this. All right, you're asking for just to be 7 home runs off the record? I mean, no, he can't keep doing this every year here. Plus, he does have an injury history there. Over the last 2 years, he's been completely healthy. I'll just say no. Between possibility of an injury, teams waking up and going, nope, not pitching to him, I'll take the under here. Although, as a Yankee fan, he better. He better, because if he don't, Yankees going to be in a lot of trouble.
So I've decided to go by the letter of the law. Sam is not going to like this. Sam is not going to like my answer. Yep. Sam, listen, Sam leaves these little loopholes in the buy or sell. 55 home runs between 55 plus the regular season, postseason, World Baseball Classic, buy. Spring training, buy. Above 55 between spring training, World Baseball Classic, regular season, and postseason. Aaron Judge will hit 55 home runs. He didn't say this season. He didn't say this season. He said this year. The graphic says this year.
Fantasy Sports Today. Friday, starting at 3 p.m. Only on SportsGrid.
Having fun yet on Prediction Markets Edge? It's Donnie Rightside, and it's Joe Raineri. Each and every week we come on the show and tell you some of the advantageous spots that you could take, whether it be football, basketball, baseball, or whatever you're looking to invest in. Now, it's time to go back to the futures with another look. Boy, that is an expensive number. I wonder about the no option on a touchdown market. Well, just for you, Kalshi and Polymarket have those options as well. If you figure you want to fade the public and go against Kenneth Walker III to score a touchdown, how about a no contract, Joe? A $100 investment pays back $264 if you figure he might not get in. As we know, touchdowns are not a certainty or a given, regardless of how much we think you're going to score. Back to the futures, Joe. Look at that. We look different markets you need to participate in. Kenneth Walker, everybody had him to score a touchdown. He didn't score a touchdown on the predicted markets. Cha-ching.
That's what it's all about, Donnie, right? Finding the value, finding the edge, and cashing the ticket without having to wait very long, Donnie, and tie up your capital. So very well done. One of a few that we were spot on with in that Super Bowl.
Absolutely. You want to be spot on this weekend, Valentine's Day weekend? You want to spend some time watching the All-Star game in the NBA on Sunday? Well, you can do that, Joe. Typically, we'd say, wait. East versus West, right? Not this year. Team World, Team USA stripes, and Team USA stars. Team World, currently the favorite, trading at a 39% chance. Team USA stripes, 34% chance, and Team USA stars, 29% here. The U.S. split up. Team World, you know how much they like to get after it here. We'll see who plays. Luka Doncic not expected there, but the favorites, Joe, the world. How about that?
The world have over the years, Donnie, in this spot. So the European players, we've tend to see the Giannis's and the Jokers and Lukas and those guys kind of dominate in this game. The problem is, Giannis and Luka will not be in this game. At least Giannis won't. We'll see if Luka is going to play or not. But when you go down the roster, it looks like, the world certainly should be the favorite here, given what we know about the motivational factors for the guys playing on Team World.
Different ways to play it out, Joe. But if I got to be honest, we're having a new landscape here. And yes, we think the world's going to try to rise up, but there's still pride on these USA teams. I'm going low man on the totem pole, Joe. Give me Scotty Barnes and the boys. Team USA Stars, a $100 investment pays back $345. Nobody's looking at that team here. Give me the Stars, Joe.
No, I mean, listen, go with the Stars here. The Stripes also will show up and show out. But there's one guy, Donnie, that has made it a point to go out of his way to tell everybody that this game means something, and he will not be mailing it in. So that player actually happens to play on the world team.
Now let's flip it over here to MVP action. 3 different teams. So you're probably going to figure, if you want to take it, it's not going to come from a losing team. It's going to come from a winning team. And if I just told you to go low man on the totem pole with the Stars, Tyrese Maxey, 5% trading here, a $100 investment pays back $2,000 here. Give me Maxey and the boys. Little Philly love, Joe.
Yeah, well, that player I was telling you about there, Donnie, that is swearing to everyone that he is going to be taking this game seriously, is the alien, and that's Victor Wembanyama here. And the price that he's trading at right now,
oh boy,
my goodness, the crowd wants to see him crowned. Everybody wants to see him crowned. There was a lot of retail hype on him. But the reality is the All-Star game is a guard's paradise. It's about three-pointers, transition dunks, big man, even guys like Wemby, they don't get the ball enough in this kind of setting here to get enough points. So I'm with you. I'd go with one of the guards, I think, is going to be the leader when it's all said and done. Anthony Edwards, by the way.
Anthony Edwards, there you go. By the way, you just thought when basketball season was really ramping up, you wouldn't talk any more football. Nonsense, people. Just because the Super Bowl ended, that doesn't mean we don't look towards the next year. The 2027 Pro Football Champion. Who's the favorite? The team that just won a few days ago, Seattle, trading at 12%, Joe. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm taking the no contract out, which is at 90%. A $100 wager or $100 investment here is going to pay me back $112 on that. No, no, and no. How about that?
I can't argue with you, Donnie. I mean, we all know the reality of the whole going back-to-back. Not going to happen. And it's very much a copycat league. So whatever worked that teams think worked really, really well to get Seattle where they are, you can count on everybody else doing exactly the same thing. And by the way, is Mahomes still in the league, Donnie? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. By the way, you never know.
Joe, I'm just saying. 6% Baltimore, 6% Kansas City. A $100 investment on either one of those teams pays back $1,667. That's where I'm looking. Buy low, sell high, and get after it here. Back to the Futures was fun. Prediction Markets Edge. We will see you next week.
You guys had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. You knew you were facing a Mike McDonald defense that disguises everything, and that was your game plan, to play scared. I mean, Mike Vrabel, I love the guy. He played that game, Donnie, like it was a preseason scrimmage in August and not the Super Bowl.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Super Bowl Sunday, about $870 million was traded. Again, I caution you, that is not the same as sports betting handle for a variety of reasons, but we also saw Nevada sportsbooks, which includes Las Vegas, only took about $133 million in handle. That was its worst performance in the decade in terms of total handle on the game. Now, we don't have ratings, we don't have a lot of other things. There's a lot of reasons for that.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
The Patriots Patriots postseason to the worst regular season of the last umpteen years. Fair enough?
Fair.
All right. So the Patriots postseason, they averaged 1.13 points per drive, okay? The winless Cleveland Browns about 10 years ago averaged 1.22.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
So you know Gary Bettman wants the USA to win because he knows the bump that they can get out of this. Canada wins, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Right? And the level of pressure on Canada in this is next level. It's like it's equivalent to like Argentina in soccer or something, Brazil. It's one of those like, yeah, if you lose, don't bother coming home.
Winter Game Central. Only on Sports.